Hey gamers, Loricane here. Bringing you kind of a special one. We decided to pick up the playtest book for the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. The playtest is currently out, fairly recently out even. I picked up my book yesterday. We decided that we'd play one session of it just to get our feet wet and figure out what we thought. I'll get to that in a minute here. But I'll give you a link in the description to the website where it talks about the game and the links on where to find it, etc., etc., etc. The actual final print is coming out in 2023, so this is an early playtest. It will be, they mentioned several times in the book that it's just kind of the tip of the iceberg sort of thing. So going through it real fast, what we've got, it is, let's see, they call the system a D616 system. What that means in English is it's 3d6, but not quite. You've got one die in there, they call it the Marvel die, that if it rolls a 1, you treat it as a 6 and it does some other fun things. So you, as a rule, you roll the 3d6 and then you add your appropriate modifier against a target number. Our group of first levels, which was a blast, except incomplete. Early, you guys, just barely got the first power. Spider-Man's trying to still figure out how to spin webs, that sort of thing. We had 2 blasters, a bruiser, I was the bruiser, a poly, which is kind of in the middle of the road, a little bit of everything, and then we had a protector. The different archetypes I'll get to in a minute, but what we found is some of the power sets have a hard time early because they don't have any offensive capability. And my bruiser hurt like a freight train. He was big, bad, super strength, mighty. He just, he was hitting for, this is a first level game. You can tell that it's got something a lot in common with the Die 20 games like D&D or Pathfinder. I was hitting for 13 damage was the minimum I could do at first level. So I just splatted everything that I swung at. So yeah, that one, high end on the power scale, I came into my strength very, very quickly. I'll get bigger, better, but not quite as much as some of the others. So the power sets are a little over the place. We had one who was doing a weather controller. The protector was doing a weather controller, and could knock bad guys down, but couldn't actually do any damage to them unless they rolled well. They had to roll a 1 on that fantastic Marvel die. So it'll be fun to play it and see with it, but I'd recommend you pick up your rule set and give it a shot. And you can see what I mean by, it's definitely not finished yet. And that's okay. Playtests are designed to be not quite finished yet. Reading through my notes. Okay, so power ranks are, it's kind of level based, again, sorta, but power ranks are 1 to 25. Again, roughly on that one doesn't really fit on any other scale. Power ranks 1 to 25. First levels characters have 1 power. They're not really growing into their capabilities yet. They're just trying to figure out who they are in life. Different origins, different professions. The origins are things along the lines of magic, or mutant, or alien, or special training. And they cover just about everything you can imagine in the Marvel Universe. Professions are their day job, background sort of things. Was he a lawyer like Daredevil, or She-Hulk? Were they a scientist? Were they just a tycoon like Tony Stark? So those go in, and your origin and profession give you your basics for most of your traits. And then you get one other thing to kind of set you off from everybody else that's just like you, another trait. And then you pick your first power set. And then you have your archetypes, which kind of define your combat matrix, your to hits, maximum to hits, your damage bases, a few things along that line, where you're really good at and where you're not. So like their archetypes, you got blasters like Hawkeye or Cyclops. Bruisers, which is what I was, like Colossus or Hulk or Juggernaut. They're mostly tank types, but they're just absolute brutal in melee too. Geniuses are observance. We didn't see one in combat today, but Doctor Doom and Mr. Fantastic are the examples they give there. Polymaths, Spider-Man and Thor, kind of well-rounded characters. And these are, again, are the examples that they give. Protector, Doctor Strange, and Professor X, they use their abilities to assist others in the battlefield. And then Strikers, they're your offensive meleeers, like Daredevil, Electro, Wolverine. Their combat, or their attributes, they have 6 ability scores, basic ability scores, and they actually spell the word Marvel. Might, which is your physical offense. Agility, which is your reactions, acrobatics, dodging, how fast you can run is tied to agility. Resilience is your overall durability, how much abuse you can take. Vigilance is your awareness of what's around you. Wolverine, because of his ability to smell, for example, knows almost everything that's around him at all times. Ego, your self-confidence, your force of persuasion, your mental fortitude. Professor X has a really good example there. And logic, which is your reasoning capability, like Mr. Fantastic. And then, of course, you've got health, and then focus, which is partially mental hit points and really a mana pool. And then karma to affect rerolls. Rerolls can kick in a couple different ways. If you've got an advantage, it's an edge where you can reroll one of your dice. A disadvantage would be a trouble. A bad guy has an effect on you, causing you to reroll one of your dice, their choice, not yours. Karma can be used to protect you in either way. Either you reroll one of your dice to attack, or make them reroll one of their dice when they're attacking you. Turns are very similar to the other D20 games, the older ones. You have a move action, an easy action, or simple action. They call it easy in this particular game, and then a standard action, and then a reaction as well. In a nutshell, I'd recommend checking it out if you can. I got mine from Amazon. It was $10. They listed several local gaming stores, or comic book stores rather, carry it as well, so that might be worth looking at. They have a Kindle version, I noticed, but I picked up the hard copy. Well, softbound copy, it's not a hard copy. And it's interesting. I'd like to see where it grows to. They are asking actively for feedback. What did you see in the game that was missing? Where did you see it wasn't quite right? It's a pretty good poll. So I'd recommend you check it out and let your thoughts be known, because that's the way you get whatever you want out of it. I was excited to see something in the Marvel universe, because the last one I had played was actually the Ancient Boxes. Must have been 35 years ago. But I haven't actually played one Marvel since. As far as RPG, I've played a few on the computer and whatnot. So I'm going to leave that with you guys. I'm still planning to talk Pathfinder tomorrow, or not Pathfinder, rather Battletech tomorrow. But I thought you guys would like the game review for the Mutants or the Marvel Multiverse RPG. I've got my group is going to get together again next week and try 10th level characters and see if that rounds it out a little bit better. First level, I'm betting they didn't all come into their powers yet, and we'll see from there. If that does indeed happen, I'll give you guys an update then. Talk to you later. Have a great night and a great weekend.